How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Around the CHL, episode number 7. Yeah, 7, because apparently we had 2 episode 5s, and nobody caught on to that, thankfully. We're currently sitting in the conference finals, where the winner of every game is going to have a berth into the Memorial Cup. So let's go ahead and break this down. The Owen Sound Attack versus the Hamilton Bulldogs. This conference reminds me of the NBA, to be honest. I could have told you these two teams was going to be in the finals 6 months ago. They haven't been owners for 6 months. Regardless, I've raved about these two teams and how good they've been all season. So let's do something different. Let's do some investigating. Let's dig into some other things that might be interesting for some other teams to hear about here. Such as Sensei Backstab. What you got for us, pal? Called up to the Owen Sound roster and he's yet to play a game. Very interesting. Usually you call guys up and they play. So, you know what? I was like, let's take a look. What do we got here? Things haven't changed. First off, I had Sensei Backstab on my team a few seasons ago, and he's very, very not committed to LG. And for the most part, he's unresponsive and he doesn't ever play. But then again, I could be wrong. I mean, let's take a look here. Maybe he plays now. Oh, last online, October 27th. Interesting. What month are we in again? Oh, that was like 4 months ago. All right, so he got on LG 4 months ago, so that seems about accurate. So we most definitely seen he got traded to the Owen Sound Attack a month after October. That's definitely something he's seen there. I'm sure he's seen that. All right. And I'm also sure as soon as he got traded, the first thing Owen Sound did was slid into his DMs and make sure he could play games before they called him up as well. I mean, after all, this is only Backstab's 6th straight season where he signed up and hasn't played a single game of LG. And I mean, why in the heck would a team want to call up an inactive player? That'd just be silly. I mean, look at all the D-men they have on their TC. They have so many to choose from. But I mean, then again, I guess if you have a much better option to play defense at a different position, that obviously can't be called up. Anybody? Anybody know what's sound better at defense than these guys that got under TC? Anybody? Oh, Karma's Proof. How you doing, pal? Funny seeing you here. You signed up at right wing this season, huh? That's interesting. You couldn't be caught up to the roster to play right D, but then again, maybe you could play from TC. I mean, you was 6-1 this season. You're 3-1 in playoffs. What are you playing in play? Oh, defense. You've been playing defense in playoffs. What a coincidence. Nothing's adding up here. But don't worry, Sensei. You're not alone on this one. Everything's going to be okay. If you need someone to talk to, just talk to fellow teammate 9th Digit, who's also been on the roster all of playoffs and has yet to play a game since being on the team. On the team, not since playoffs have started. Oh, wait, that's Sensei Backstab, too. I'm acting like that's something new here. Oh, it's a weird pattern. I like 9th Digit, though. He's a good guy. Last season, I managed. He was on my team. He was 9 of 9. Uncoincidentally, and all of a sudden he's 0-9, so I don't know, I don't really know what's going on there. Maybe he's got some personal problems going on for that reason. I don't really want to, just jump to conclusions on why he's not playing. Maybe he's got something going on, and maybe Owen Sound's doing him a favor there by not getting him banned and just playing forwards off TC, because they have been using 500k forwards at the same time that they could easily just be using for 9th Digit. But, interesting, nonetheless, to just have 2 players that don't play in the playoffs. Bold strategy. Definitely nothing fishy going on there. I do recall, though, some nice lads on PlayStation. Thought it'd be a good idea to put some inactive players on their team or start some players that are cheaper contracts in favor so they can play some guys on their TC that aren't able to be called up. And I do recall them getting their management listed, so this should be an interesting one because that's circumventing the rules in playoffs. Good story, though. I like it. All that being said, rules don't usually get enforced until after the playoffs, and I still think Owen Sound's a favorite to win the MEM. Don't worry, Hamilton. I didn't forget about you guys. I know Lutvy loves a good bench and active roster player for a TC who'd put them over the cap as much as anyone. I mean, just go ask him how he played so many games in playoffs last season for the Islanders off TC. Fun fact no one cares about, way back in the day, Lutvy used to carry me to a whole bunch of dubs. I used to play goalie, like NHL 14, way before the LG days. Good dude. So if you're watching this, pal, I don't have anything against you. I actually think you're a solid dude. People always, for whatever reason, they watch these and I say something about their team they don't like. They just get the perception that I hate them. It's never the case. These videos are just here for the purpose of entertainment. But I have to ask, can someone please tell me who in the left nut this always carried guy is on the Bulldogs? Always carried. Brand new to LG, and he's already got an LG gamer tag. Is that not a red flag? I feel like that raises a red flag. I don't know why he doesn't have his profile properly linked to LG. Maybe he just doesn't know how to update it. Maybe, I don't know, somebody else logged into his LG account to link his account in the first place, so it didn't show the same IP as possibly a second player. I don't know, who doesn't love a good second tag story? Even if that's all it is. A second tag story. A story, a fiction one, made up. Could be. Nothing's been proven. I gotta say, though, if this team is legit, and I really don't see any other reasons they aren't, innocent until proven guilty, like I said, hats off to Lutvy, man. This team is what the CHL is supposed to be, and it's a breath of fresh air to see a team with a bunch of players who actually belong in the CHL doing well and making a run. 12 of their 17 players are prospects. It's rare to see, but it's how it should be. So props to you guys, but unfortunately there ain't no trophy for that. 0-7. Moncton versus Arcady. What a nice love story. Two former Titan under Jason, if I'm not mistaken, who have now both prospered in the owners of their own respective team, who will now go up against each other, and the winner will quite possibly go up to face former owner himself, Jason, and the Shawinigan Cataracts in the Mem Cup. These two teams are interesting, though. They've taken two completely different paths here. Moncton, the underdog, the team people counted out 3 rounds ago, has since went through the Q-Champ Sea Dogs and the Armada in 2 tough series in which they made look pretty easy. And then there's the Titan, who didn't have as daunting of a schedule to get here, but hey, that's because they earned it. They didn't have an easy ride because they finished with the most points in the QMJ, tied with the Sea Dogs. And regardless of who they played, they've made it look easy. They've come in absolutely rolling into this conference finals. Only the Bulldogs have a better record at the moment. Granted, we can question the legitimacy of their last round opponent victories, being that Shawinigan clearly had zero care to go out there and actually win the series, knowing they were already given a Mem Cup berth. Which, side note, glad to see we're back to a 14 finals format, but we should probably see the team with the Mem Cup berth kept anonymous, possibly, until they lose. Because obviously, if they know they're in a Mem Cup, there is the chance that they just don't try and have a reason to win. And Shawinigan, the team that thought it'd be a good idea to throw a game and lose 18-2 this season, might be a pretty strong candidate of doing that. Just a friendly thought, though. Titan and Moncton, though, 2 very deep offensive teams. I think it comes down to whoever's defense can hold stronger here. Never gonna get me some live with jive around the CHL if I keep voting against the Titan, but I've been on the Moncton bandwagon all of playoffs. You can't hop off now. Maybe we see a little chip on the shoulder, possibly, out of Jalen Neon Blood going up against his old team. He steals a game or 2. Moncton in 7. And then finally, we have the 69 trades later Vancouver Giants up against the team I predict to lose every single round, and that's the Medicine Hat Tigers. Honestly, the toughest matchup to predict. On the pure fact, the WHL West and the WHL East never played a single game against each other all season because of the way the schedule is put together this year, so you really can't compare competition between the two teams. I personally think the WHL West was a little weaker than the East, and we did see Vancouver lose a couple games to some teams I thought they'd walk all over. Then again, MedHat did the same thing. They took the round 1 opponent, the 8th-seeded Prince Albert Raiders, to a game number 7, one they probably should have won a lot earlier. So far in playoffs, though, the Medicine Hat Tigers have allowed over 3 goals one time throughout the entirety of the playoffs. That's definitely going to be tested this series against what is the most prolific offense in the WHL, an offense that just pounded on the Kelowna Rockets in our final 2 games of last series. This is a prove-yourself series for both of these teams right here. I don't think the Giants have had to play a shutdown D yet, and I don't think the MedHat Ds had to play an offense that's as good as the Giants yet. This is where we separate the ones who make it from the ones who fake it, ladies. If MedHat's defense can hold up and shut down these guys, I think it's their series to lose, but they will not beat the Giants if these games become shootouts. At the end of the day, I just don't see how you can bet against CM. That's 2 wins right there. I expect smart line matching out of these guys as well, not to mention they're very deep, 3 lines as it is. I got Vancouver in 6, which likely means Tigers in 6 because every time I voted against the Tigers, they've won. So we'll see what happens here. That is this week's episode. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you, I really don't know, in the next episode, but I'm not going to lie.